Louis van Gaal believes Manchester United are a much more boring side to watch under Jose Mourinho than they were during his own much-criticized tenure. Right now, looking at United, I have to conclude that Mourinho is not being criticized while it's far more boring football, Van Gaal said of his successor in an interview with Fox Sports Netherlands. Under Van Gaal, United were often pulled up by critics for their unimaginative style of play and plodding, possession-based football that often seemed to stall in attack. But the Dutchman believes the criticism was unwarranted. If you ask me how did I do at United, I will say it was my best year ever, given the circumstances I was working under. We played football that was quite alright, but it's not appreciated in England. Van Gaal took United back into the top four in his first season in charge and then won the FA Cup the following year, although they slipped to fifth in the Premier League, a finish that earned the Dutchman the sack. Van Gaal was often criticized for United's perceived dull style. Under Mourinho, United slipped even further last season, finishing sixth, but thanks to their Europa League triumph they sealed the Champions League spot, and this season they are in second, albeit 11 points behind Manchester City after Sunday's defeat to their local rivals. That 21 loss at Old Trafford brought familiar criticism for Mourinho, has often been accused of setting up his side too negatively in the big games, and Van Gaal agrees. What United produce now is defensive football, he said. I always played attacking football. The proof is that the opposition were always parking the bus. They don't do that now, because Jose Mourinho plays so defensive. Mourinho and City manager Pep Guardiola have both worked under Van Gaal. The current United manager was Van Gaal's assistant at Barcelona from 1996 to 2000, when Guardiola was the team's captain. Van Gaal says Guardiola's side is the more watchable, compared to his old club. I would rather watch City play than United. You need quality in a squad and it's clear City have a better squad. But Van Gaal was quick to point out that he had no problems with Mourinho, despite the awkward managerial succession in which it was fairly obvious that United had sussed out the Portuguese and decided to appoint him while Van Gaal was still in the job. He is not an awful man. In fact, I think he is a sympathetic guy. He was my assistant at Barcelona. I worked with him and what Mourinho did taking the United job is what often happens in football. The Dutchman was much less kind when discussing United CEO Ed Woodward and the way he handled the decision to remove Van Gaal. I have more problems with the CEO, Ed Woodward. He never discussed anything with me, and you can talk about anything with me. Van Gaal is still unhappy with Ed Woodward's handling of his sacking. With all my experience, I know the unwritten laws of football. A club has to prepare for the future. I can understand that. And they should have approached me. Ed could talk to me but he did not. My wife had to find out when she was in the lift with Woodward's family. They said something like, "This is going to be awkward for Ed." My wife had sussed him out ages ago. She warned me that something was going on.